Hey everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the August 2020 shadow work reading for the sign of Taurus. Now please keep in mind this is a general reading, so it may not apply to each and every one of you. However, you can take a look at this month's reading in regards to your Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus signs. So do take a look at your natal chart, see the corresponding zodiac signs and see which video's title resonates for you most. As I was saying, it is a general reading, so don't force it to your circumstances if you feel it doesn't apply. If you'd like a personal reading, you can find the information in the description box below. So, without further ado, let's get into your reading, Taurus. So I am using a variety of decks, as you can see here. We'll pull 2 cards from the Dark Mirror Oracle, jump over and get 1 card from the Moonology. We'll get some tarot cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot and then clarify with the Intuitive. So let's see what the shadow is releasing at this time. I feel like for you, Taurus, a lot of the introspection, the introspective work is going to be taking place for you at this time. I know certain signs were already going through the majority of that last month, but for you, especially Taurus, I feel like this is something that you're going to experience after the full moon, especially, okay? And this will carry on throughout the month of August. So let's see what's being revealed at this time, what energies are being surfaced via the shadow. Wow, okay. So the energies you got, Taurus, is a parasite and envious gluttony. Okay, so I feel like with regards to these energies, it's telling me that there's something that there is something that's provoking an intense jealousy within yourself, okay? Or fear. A fear of losing something or a fear of not gaining something. And on the other side of it, I feel like there is an intense jealousy for something that you feel like you don't have or that you do not want to share with anyone else, that you're clinging on to for dear life, okay? So 2 messages there that I'm getting from these cards. So we'll look at parasite first. This is the energy of someone that leeches off of another. This is the energy of someone that willingly allows themselves to be a victim, to be fed off someone else, okay? But the parasite in general is talking of, you know, whoever this energy applies to is feeding off someone else's energy, or is leaning too heavily and relying on the nourishment that another can provide, right? Leaning too heavily on someone else in order to feel full, in order to feel whole, complete, to feel accomplished, to feel abundant, to feel loved, right? So there is an element of lack of self-worth with this energy, and that's something that if you feel like you know that you have a lack of self-worth, a lack of confidence, this is something that you're going to have to look into at this time, because this is being surfaced and you may see this play out in various situations, right? Particularly if you have a very close circle, or if you have you know, a partner, either ones that you're at a distance from, right? You're going to be feeling depleted at this time because you're not getting that nourishment, especially if you're in lockdown, right? If you're in a place that's currently still in lockdown and you've been at a distance from your partner or from your close friendship circle or family members, you're not getting your supply, right? You're not getting your supply, so you're going to be feeling more depleted, lethargic, feeling more detached, feeling alone, feeling, you know, just very low, possibly even depressed, right? Because you're used to getting that energetic supply from those closest to you. And it's not to say, I know that sounds very negative, and it's not to say that you're intentionally feeding off of others' energy. You know, I'm not getting like a conscious psychic vampirism type energy. What I'm getting is that, you know, you're used to getting your fulfillment, your emotional abundance from the actions of others, from the connection you have with others. So it's something that you need to really look at to see why you feel you're unable to fill your own cup, right? What is it that you feel that you're lacking? What is it that makes you feel like you are not able to replenish your own cup, right? Fulfill yourself, provide your own happiness, be a source of your own joy, right? That's something you'll need to look at with this energy. With regards to envious glutton, I feel like it's a case of you are having to address the fact that you maybe, again, like I said, I feel like this is leaning really heavily on a particular person, because you see that they're very abundant or very emotionally available, right? That they always willing to extend themselves. They might go above and beyond to make sure your needs are met, to make sure that you are happy, to make sure that you are feeling balanced, right? And perhaps because this person is also very caring, very nourishing, very supportive towards others, you don't like that. You feel like it's something that should be given solely to you, right? Or at least you don't like the way in which they are so readily available to help others in some way. That you feel like, that should be for you and you alone in some capacity. Perhaps you're afraid that there's someone circling this individual, or several people that are circling this individual that see the abundance they have, that see the emotional nourishment that they give, and are wanting a piece of that themselves, and that brings out this darker aspect within you, this jealousy, this frenzy, right, of wanting to keep them to yourself at all costs, right? It's almost like it's like an energy of almost being willing to slaughter the lamb in order to ensure that no other wolves get to it. It's kind of like that energy. So it's very dark, actually. So that's something, again, you'll have to look at if this resonates for you. Because it comes from a place of fear mentality. It's a fear mentality that it stems from, a place of lack, feeling like, it's something that's so good in your life, or something that you feel you've always wanted and you finally got it, and now that you've got it, you're not willing to risk letting someone else obtain that instead, or risk someone else distracting them, being able to provide that nourishment to this other person or other people that may be circling on the outside. It's that kind of thing. So it's like wanting to keep your supply to yourself at all costs, right? It's that kind of energy. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I know I might be butchering how I'm explaining it, but it's kind of that sort of thing. Like, you have energetic ties to all sorts of people, right? And I feel like there's a particular tie in your life that is very, very nourishing. It's magical, right? There's a lot of positive things about it. So because it's so intense, because it gives you so much, you're just not willing to risk losing it, and you're not willing to share that with anybody else, right? Like the fact that perhaps this person has some, several very close connections with people. Perhaps they are very loving, very supportive, very nurturing. They could be quite tactile as well. Perhaps you don't like that either. You don't want anyone else to experience their touch on any level. It can manifest in many different ways, right? But those are just some examples of how these kind of energies can apply. Okay, so with regards to the Moonology deck, you've got Bring Love into the Situation, New Moon in Aquarius. So perhaps this is reminding you that you are holding on too tightly, that you are actually getting to the point where if you're not careful, you'll suffocate the connection because of your jealousy, because of your desire to keep this energy for yourself, right? To consume as much of it as you can, not allowing anyone else to get their fill, right? So that's possibly breeding some very difficult circumstances in this connection, right? It might start to manifest some obstacles, right? Because you're just so unwilling to, allow anyone else to experience what this person has to offer on any level, right? So say if this is a relationship, right? You're in love with someone and, it seems too good to be true. There's so many good things about this person. There's so much abundance in the relationship. And then you're aware that they have some friends, that are very passionate towards them, very kind, maybe very complimentary, and you take it as, oh, this person wants to steal my person away from me, right? Again, coming from jealousy and fear, even though that may not very well be the case at all. But because this other people are recognizing the abundance that this person has, perhaps they hadn't previously to the extent that they are now, you're concerned that perhaps, someone else may sweep this person away from you or cut off this supply, right? Or that this person themselves might no longer be available to you. So where are you going to get this emotional fulfillment from? Where are you going to get this, abundance from? So that's what needs to be addressed, okay? This attachment that you have to getting your emotional fulfillment, to feeling complete by depending and leaning on another, right? There's some codependency issues playing out here. So it's really asking you to look at that, right? And bring some genuine, pure love to the situation, not attachment, okay? Just giving this person their space, understanding that it's a give and take, that it's, it needs to be flowing. It can't be stagnant, the energy in this situation, right? And that you allow this person to breathe, you allow them to be who they are, and you show gratitude for that, you don't try and suffocate the connection or this person, and that you have to look into where you feel like you're lacking in abundance or lacking self-worth or the ability to bring happiness into your own life, right? Without the need of someone else being present. Because I feel like, honestly, those of you who are at a distance currently from this person, you're going to be feeling this the most, right? It's going to be triggering this the most for you. Okay. So that might be also a revelation that becomes very clear to you over the full moon transition, right? Especially with it being in Aquarius, okay? This card is new moon in Aquarius, but we have a full moon in Aquarius coming up. So I think that's going to really show you where these traits might start to come up, and how that's affecting your connection with this person, especially if it's a family member or someone you're in a relationship with. I just saw the Strength card and the Father of Wands in reverse, so you could be dealing with a Leo. Okay. Or possibly an Aquarius. But we'll go into the tarot now and see what that has to say on the subject. Okay. Okay. Well, just get the cards out first, and then we'll go into it. Okay, interesting. So the first card you got is the Nine of Wands, okay? Fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Having to overcome certain obstacles, knowing that, yes, it's not difficult, and yes, the path is long, and yes, you've already been through so much, to the point where, you are hesitant, you are fearful, you are scared because of how much this person means to you. And perhaps, when you start to really look at this energy, you'll come to understand why you feel the way you do, what's causing this fear, this conflict, what's causing this need to suffocate the connection, right? This need to, it's almost kind of controlling, but not in a manipulative way. It's more just out of fear, wanting to make sure that, no one takes this from you, right? But you're going to have to address that. So in regards to the next card, you have the Two of Cups. Water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Again, I feel like this is someone who is either, for example, a parent or someone who you're in a relationship with. For the most part, I feel like it's someone you're in a relationship with. Now, this is someone that obviously brings you so much fulfillment, and I feel like you bring a lot of love into the situation as well, right? But that's what it's asking you to focus on, not on the attachment, but just the pure love that you have for this person, right? Because the attachment is what's causing this kind of energies, right? Your attachment to this person, not willing to let it go, not letting it breathe, not letting this person just be, without the fear that they're going to upset you in some way, or that any support that they provide someone else is going to set you off potentially, right? So you need to look at these controlling issues that you may have, or look at this need to ensure that no one else can get that support or that love from them, right? Because that's toxic. Okay, that is toxic. But I feel like you do have a lot of love for this person. There is a lot of mutual love within the situation. So that needs to be the focal point, not on the fear of losing this person. Next card you have is the Nine of Cups, okay? Water energy again. So yeah, I think you do have to maybe address perhaps where you've been a bit selfish, where you've only been thinking about having your needs met and what you want and how things should be on your terms, right? Because it's not really fair on this person, and it's not fair on the people that are closest to this person, right? Because say if they have some, very close friends, they're going to be compassionate. They're going to spend time. They're going to want to invest some energy into the friendship, okay? And that's not something that you should put a lid on or try to put a lid on, because you want more of their time, more of their attention, more of their energy, right? Understand that if you are at a distance from this person, it's not easy, because you've not been able to spend as much time with them as you would otherwise have. But you still need to understand that, there are other people in their life. They have other connections as well. And all of them have a part to play within that person's life. So you just have to, really address these more, negative aspects, these more darker feelings that you have, the darker feelings that you have surrounding this, and understanding that it's coming from a fear mentality. Next card you have is the Seven of Cups in reverse. Water energy again. So much water. This is about you navigating your feelings, the darker feelings that you have. Realizing that it's coming from a lack of self-worth, a lack of feeling stable and dependable and, capable of being happy on your own, right? That you place all of your happiness on the connections that you have, right? So with this being in reverse, it's asking you to really address that. Like, listen, you think that all your happiness, all of your abundance, emotional fulfillment comes from specific connections, and that without them, you're not whole, you're not complete, you can't function, that you'll never be at a higher vibration. That's something that you need to address, right? Because as I said, this whole thing is about lack of self-worth and lack of understanding that you were already whole and complete. This is about sharing these experiences with these connections. It's not about these people fulfilling you, right? It's not about these people making you whole. You're already whole. Okay. So we'll go into the clarifications and then we'll discuss the outcome here. So clarifying the Nine of Wands, you have the King of Pentacles. So this is your energy, okay? Earth energy, as well as Capricorn and Virgo. So I feel like you are generally very abundant and you are very grounded, and this is where you're not realizing. You are showing up as the King of Pentacles, so you are very stable, you're very dependable. You are someone that's, this person could build a very abundant and sturdy, honest, loyal foundation with. You're someone that they could build a future with. This is long-lasting energy. This is someone who manifests abundance around them. This is someone who knows how to take care of that abundance as well, to maintain it, right? So even if you feel like you don't have all the resources currently that you're wishing for, you're still very much in this energy. You still have the ability to create a very abundant life for yourself, right? So that's what you need to come to realize, that your fears around, your lack of worth, or your fears around not having this around that and the other is nothing more than that. Fears. It's unfounded, because you are abundant. You are capable of creating a very solid foundation, you know, wherever you plant your feet. And this person obviously sees that. So that's something you need to come to realize on your own, right? Clarifying the Two of Cups, you have the Hanged Man, right? So this is saying that, yeah, this person that you're connected with may be reaching a point where they really don't know what to do, because they are picking up this energy quite strongly. And frankly, they don't like it, you know, because they want to be there for you. They want to provide the support. They want to show you that they're in it together with you, right? But at the same time, if you're not trusting this person, or if you're not allowing them to breathe, to have their own space, to be around their own friends, to communicate with others without the fear that you might get upset, or you might feel like you're neglecting them, or you're not meeting their they're not meeting your expectations, they're going to start to question what this relationship is really about and why they are in it, right? Why they're sticking around. So that's why it's essential that you don't allow your fears and your lack of confidence or self-worth be projecting so heavily onto this relationship, because that's what I feel like. This is more about your fears and your lack of self-worth being projected onto the relationship. Okay, so in regards to the Nine of Cups, you have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So we've got two nines here, okay? So the number 9 can be very ascendant, very abundant energy, right? But it also can be the number of illusion. And I feel like a lot of what you're feeling, you know, is illusionary. It's based on fear, as I was saying. So because of that, you start acting out in ways that are maybe not, you know, then don't really bring out the best side of you, okay? You're not really showing the best aspects of yourself when you get into this fear state. So you might start to do things that come across as very controlling or very, selfish, right? Because you're afraid, you're terrified of losing the connection. You're afraid that this person will walk away. You do not want to lose this person. So you're like desperately clinging at all costs, right? But that is the very kind of energy that's going to end up pushing this person away. So that's something you need to really look at, okay? Because you're afraid to be alone, essentially. I don't feel like it's just about losing this person. Of course, you're afraid to lose this person, but I feel like you're afraid to also be alone, because then you're no longer going to get this supply, right, that you were getting previously. And then in regards to the Seven of Cups in reverse, you have the Temperance card, okay? Sagittarius energy. So you could be dealing with the Sagittarius. But I feel like Taurus, you know, this is saying that you need to take some time out, okay? You need to sit with your emotions and really work through them to understand where you feel like you are lacking, where you feel like your needs have to be met through another, right? And then once you can understand where that comes from and what the roots of that actually is, you can then start to heal it. You can start alchemizing those more negative emotions and thought processes into something more positive, something that's actually going to uplift you and make you feel like, you know, you're in your elements, right? That you are actually the King of Pentacles. And don't get caught up on the gender, right? This is about the energy, you know. So I feel like maybe your divine masculine aspect as well needs some healing, right? Because that's where, you know, when the divine masculine is wounded, that's when you get this kind of controlling, this very controlling, insecure kind of energy coming from, feeling like it has to dominate, has to, lead something in a way that's very controlling and very hard to work with, right? Not in a positive way. So that may need looking at as well. But I feel like you are being guided at this time, and this is why this energy is coming up for you. You're being divinely guided to really assess where you think you're lacking, what you think you're lacking, and why that's come about. You know, so you can start working through those wounds, right? Because this is something that was formed some time ago, right? right? And it's just playing out in various different situations. And then finally, as a potential outcome, you have the Ten of Pentacles, more earth energy. So this is it. This is saying, listen, if you look at this, if you really do the work, you know, and work on your self-love, self-healing, you know, getting through the shadow work, doing the introspective work, understanding where these feelings of lack come from and your fears come from, and really healing that and coming to the belief and understanding that you are whole, you are complete, you are abundant, you can manifest anything you want when you resonate at the right frequency. That's when you'll tap into this energy. The Ten of Pentacles, that's having it all. That's having everything you could want in life and some. And in being in this blissful, harmonious state with the person that you are building a life with, right? So you can really get together, you know, as a unit, you and this person can reach this energy, right? It's not beyond you. This is something that's obtainable, but it just means working on, you know, these lower frequencies, right? Because the shadow is revealing your fears at this time. So if this reading resonates on any level, I highly recommend, you know, doing some shadow work, doing some introspective work, look at deep-rooted healing, you know. In terms of, you know, the chakras, you want to really look at root chakra meditations especially. You know, and there's a lot of good music, you know, in terms of solfeggio frequencies and binaural beats that can help with, you know, doing that meditative work as well, having it on in the background while you do that deep core level healing, right? Because that's what needs to take place, and that's what's going to help shift you out of these kinds of energies, you know, these lower vibrations, and into just blissful love, you know, peace, self-acceptance, you know, self-understanding, that kind of energy, right? So I hope this helps you anyway. For those of you this reading was for, do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And yeah, you know, it's a process. It's going to take time, but the earlier you start, you know, the less painful it's going to be, and the less you're going to have to deal with some very undesirable consequences, you know, that are stemming from this energy. All right, so sending you lots of love, lots of support, and yeah, I will speak to you guys soon.